my name is Selena Maisonpierre, and I have 3 yoga poses for golfers. I have a couple of yoga students in New York City, where I'm based, who swear to me that my yoga classes have changed their golf game and that they're golfing better than people who are much younger than them. So I've heard that a lot of golfing comes down to hip mobility. So let's do a couple of poses to sort of like loosen you up, and we'll get started. So I've got 3 exercises for you. We are gonna start on hands and knees. So go ahead and come forward. I've got a yoga block, you can move it off to the side. Hands and knees in a tabletop position, and just spread the palms, point the toes. Feel your core engage. Core is so important in any sport, of just awareness of where your core is. And then I want you to start to take some really big circles around yourself. If you are sensitive on your wrists, you can always come onto fingertips. You can always make fists with the hands, but I want you to just move the hips around, almost like you're stirring a big cauldron. Switch directions and go the other way. And if this feels really foreign and discombobulated, it will only get easier over time. And if you want to make it a little bit more dramatic and really kind of flow into it, switch directions, let the head and neck get involved, and you're probably already noticing those little nooks and crannies in the hip joints that you don't always get into. You know that coin, if you don't use it, you lose it. This is sort of you keeping your hip mobility. So we'll do that a couple of rounds. Beautiful. That's an amazing practice to just do every day first thing in the morning. And then we're gonna stand up and do something standing. Amazing, so come to stand in a nice wide stance. So your feet are gonna be wide, knees are a little bit bent, you know, like a nice athletic stance. I just want you to shift your weight side to side. So you're kind of bending your knees, you're dropping into one hip, dropping into the other hip. This is just great for the mobility of your ankles and knees and hip joints as well, shifting side to side. And then find yourself more at center. And I want you to take your arms, kind of like dead weight, and just let your torso rock a little side to side. And you can see that I'm still bending my knees. I'm still kind of like keeping it nice and easy as I just let the torso rock. And we're just getting a little bit of a gentle twist. And then if that feels comfortable, you can make it a little bit more dramatic, but I'm still allowing the hips to rotate with it. So nothing is too like stiff, it's nice and easy. And then we're gonna come back through center. Arms are going to, or excuse me, fingertips are gonna come onto the shoulders, elbows nice and wide, little bend in the knees. And now we'll take a bit more dramatic of a rotation. So you're just going side to side. The hips are not stiff, but they're a little bit more kind of activated at center as just the torso twists. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Back through center. You're gonna go ahead and jump the feet together, and we're gonna come back down onto the floor to end us out in a really wonderful twist. That's gonna be great for your hips. Okay, last pose. This is called a reclined twist, and this is gonna be so amazing for opening up the hips and kind of the full spinal column. You'll come to lay down on your back, bend the knees, bring the feet on the floor. Already that just feels amazing. Go ahead and hug one knee into the chest, and as you do that, lengthen the left leg long. So I've got my right knee in, left leg long. Go ahead and rock your knee a little side to side. So what we're doing here is a really awesome mobility exercise of moving the right thigh bone around in the socket of the hips. You're kind of like lubricating the hip joint as you do this. From there, we'll take that right knee, go all the way across the body towards the floor. Now, if the floor feels far away, I have a yoga brick. You also could put a pillow, a blanket roll, something to kind of support that right knee. And then the right arm will open to the right. So you can see my hips are stacked. I'm getting this very big rotation from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Because it's a reclined posture, it's a little bit less effortful and more about relaxing into the opening. So what I want you to focus on is, with every inhale, breathing up the length of your spine, and with every exhale, heavying that right knee to its own side, heavying the right shoulder to its own side. You might get a couple back cracks as you just relax the muscles and allow the body to open into this twist. Stay anywhere from 5 to 10 breaths. And to come out of it, the right knee will come back up. You'll have to kind of adjust yourself on the ground. And we'll switch sides. If you used a prop of some sort, move it over to the right side. We're gonna hug the left knee into the chest, lengthen the right leg long. And again, just start by rocking the right or left knee a little side to side. And you're kind of moving the thigh bone around in the socket of the hip. You might notice that there's some areas that feel a little crunchier. And it really is like lubricating. I think of the Wizard of Oz sometimes in the Tin Man. It's like oiling up the hip joint, which is gonna really help with your mobility and flexibility when you're actually playing. So let's take the left knee all the way across the body, coming down to block, blanket, pillow, or the floor. And now you can see my hips are really well stacked. From the stacking of the hips, that left shoulder is gonna open, and I've got this beautiful full rotation of the spine. Nose can either be up to the ceiling, maybe you look in the direction of your left shoulder, and you're just here breathing. Really trying to just relax into it. It's more of like an invitation of the flexibility. Letting your body know where it can go so that when you're actually using it or swinging your golf club, that flexibility is already there. 5 to 10 breaths is where you'll stay. Coming out of it, you'll hug that right or left knee back into the chest. Step your feet down to the mat. Hands will come onto the pelvis. A little extra credit here is you can tilt your pelvis forward and tilt your pelvis back so you can get these nice sort of more fine-tuned movements through the hips. This is another one that maybe takes more imagination before you physically see or feel your body moving, but it will get easier over time. Wonderful work. Back through center, hug the knees into the chest, release, relax across the low back. And then option to you, you can either rock and roll up and down to come up, or you can roll over to one side. Always ending a practice with mindfulness and intention, so coming to sit tall. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Selena Maisonpierre. If you are a golfer and you really are interested in improving your game and maybe that video was a little bit hard to follow, I offer virtual yoga privates and I would love to work with you. You get my eye, we get to really look at your body, see where your blind spots are, and I know you're gonna really improve your game. So if you're interested in that, definitely see my contact information below in the video. Thanks so much.